Cancer, you are up for the December love energy reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, please don't try to make it fit. Let's get into this because there's just a lot of energy. So, for the card, dreams of repressed lust. Dreams of repressed lust. For some of you Cancers out there, you've been dealing with desires that have not been fulfilled. And this has been actually coming out in a few readings where people have been having these desires. But for you, because of who you are, you don't necessarily like to express that to the world. You're not as vocal as, let's say, like an Aquarius or somebody like that. It's more of, okay, well, let me just keep it inside. And even when you're in the middle of doing what you're doing, living your life, you don't make it a point to bring the lust to the forefront. At the same time, you don't shy away from doing certain things either. If it gets to a point, that's what this is about. And the other card that I'm about to show you complements this one. But also, if you notice, you see the demon right there, where the demon is whispering. That's what it's doing. Because you have to read the book that's connected to the cards. But that's what it's doing, is whispering things. And this card is like, okay, instead of repressing it and then it just runs out of control because you keep it buried down so long that it just goes crazy, why don't you actually embrace it, but do it in a balanced way? Now, this card here, it says the lure of the easiest way. What this card is talking about is doing things in the short way, doing things short term, short connections, don't maintain long-term value. That's what this card is saying. It doesn't maintain value when you do shortcuts with things related with relationships. So for some of you, you may be meeting these people, but everything is happening so fast. You may not be taking your time. It may be a thing of going back to repressed lust, where it's just sexually driven. And because it may be easy for you to meet people. And I really feel it is because the Queen of Wands came out. This was an intuitive pull. And with the Queen of Wands is very desirable. And Cancer, I feel for most of you, you're very desired right now. Like people want to be with you physically, sexually. Where they're like, oh yeah, I go to bed with Cancer. And you have those options. And those options coupled with things that have been repressed, coupled with easy access, can lead to short-term connections, which is why the Two of Wands came out in the reverse. Two of Wands is about long-term. You've been dealing with short-term. You've been communicating all over the place with the Magician, Gemini and Virgo energy. And you've had people approach you. People are still approaching you, and that's fine. But you need an adjustment. This is actually justice, which is Libra energy, balancing. It's amazing. Something told me to pick this deck when I do these love readings. For this particular deck, in certain readings, stuff is labeled differently, but the way they label it is exactly the word that's needed for the reading, which is kind of crazy, But, so you need an adjustment. And that's what you're doing. You're taking mind of that. And once you do the adjustment, that's when wish fulfillment starts happening. That's when surprises come through and meaningful connections are built. That's what I feel. I feel for some of you, you're about to readjust how you're approaching, whether it's dating, how you're approaching just a regular hookup, because that can have an approach too. There's nothing wrong. Everyone has free will. If you're comfortable with just having sex only, or either sex and friends, that's fine. Do you. However, everyone has a different approach to what works best for them mentally and physically and emotionally when it comes to that type of lifestyle. And you have to figure out what approach works best for you. That's what is going on here. And not just for that, but also for relationships in general, where if you decide you want to bring romance into your life, you want a balanced approach. In order to do that, you need to adjust. And that is what is connected to the wish fulfillment. That is what is connected to the Six of Cups. That nostalgia feeling like you've known someone forever, or someone revisiting you from your past. Mercury's in retrograde is definitely possible for that. At the bottom of the deck is the Lovers. This is Gemini energy. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini, but this is saying there's a union. There is a partnership. Now, this doesn't have to be marriage. This doesn't have to be love, even though it says the Lovers. The Lovers card was originally the choice card. Some of you may have made a choice to approach something a certain way, or this is a commitment between two people who might just be saying, hey, when you have needs and I have needs. When we both need to fulfill those needs, let's call each other up. We're not going to call everyone else. We'll call each other, and then we'll do what we do as adults. But there won't be necessarily any love in it. Now, the other way, like I said before, where it is actual romance, and this could turn into an actual marriage. But that's up to you. Everyone has free will. The point of this reading is to say, save your lust for those who deserve it. Because again, this repressed lust that is in you, these things that you want to do, don't just give it to the easiest person, and don't be the easiest person. Give it to someone who actually deserves it. All right. So that is your message. Until next time, Cancer, be blessed.